Hello, people, and welcome to follow the first of the four quarterfinal matches of the second season of the Carcassonne Champions League, which all will take place in the span of mere 2 days. So we will be having two matches today and two matches tomorrow. NapalmEye versus Pakshe right now, and later today we will be also having someone you know versus Posi 118. So Vladimir Kovalev versus Pavel Hudek. And tomorrow we will be having Utsematse versus Islun and Alexei versus Rapid Rain. Now the match we have right now, NapalmEye versus Pakshe. Both players actually had a pretty close group stage um, for themselves. Both players won 3 matches out of their 5 group stage matches they had, and finished third in their respective groups. So Pakshe with a sort of a clear advantage, 3 wins over 2 to the 4th position in his group, and NapalmEye actually had to a bit like lean into the tiebreakers of the group of his own, as we can see here. Um, 3 wins for both NapalmEye and Ervin Gall, with 2 losses, and then the difference comes in games won, with Napalm 7 games and Ervin with 6 games. Whereas Pakshe 3 wins, and then Gladky Alex with 2 wins, unfortunately did not get to qualify to the playoffs. Now I have to say, despite the BGA ranking difference in elo points, I believe Pakshe is near a master rank, if not master rank as we speak. Yeah, actually a strong master with over 7,500, and Napalm, I believe, is battling somewhere in the 600-ish, give or take a few points, 584, but I can assure you that Napalm is also a very, very strong player, so it's gonna be a I I'm, I am not gonna lie, I'm expecting a tight match, although I'd say that Pakshe is gonna be a favorite in this one. But Napalm will certainly do everything he can to try and get actually not one but two Latvians into the semi-finals, along with his countryman Alexei, who has a match tomorrow. And certainly then the dream of Latvia versus Latvia in the grand finals would be also kind of like staying afloat. Welcome everyone in the chat, Penguin and Fabian. Hopefully you're all doing great. And the match is scheduled to be started at past, so right about now, with both players are at the moment online. Pakshe actually already making history here for Thailand as the first Thai player who has been able to reach the quarterfinals of the CCL or the quarterfinals of the playoffs in general. Given that CCL has only been a thing for like 2 years, it's there's gonna be a lot of like history to be made in the span of only a couple of years. But you can always say that you were the absolute first one to make that happen. Okay, Pakshe, starting player, takes the first 4 points, gets the natural starting player advantage, and the most common one. And also both players starting new cities here. Pakshe kind of debating on where he should be starting one. He could also just meeple a road here and direct the city cap to the right. It's not a bad move. Um, as what he was contemplating on is if he takes a city, then does he really want to leave a road lying down pointing in any direction for his opponent? But he decides that not giving an extra city cap potentially to Napalm is going to be worth sacrificing the unfinished road. Unlikely starting a new city, as with the principle of multiple cities is the thing. And Napalm, I would say, is also going to be actually going with a second city over here. It's a really safe spot. It is already protected with the road-to-road square, and it will be the only attacking square available for his opponent to try and harass that city. Furthermore, like it's not really a great idea to just continue this city on the left because there is a very easy attacking platform for Pakshe um, to use. So it's going to be best for Napalm to follow the principle of multiple cities and like kind of distribute the threat of shared points. Pakshe probably going to be continuing his city like this because this is the third starting tile already. Then he can go over here and limit this city to the final starting tile. Seems like an okay plan. And the purpose of this triple city in the first place is often not to like forcefully try and connect to the city, but to just simply get like anything over on this square so that it'll be at least significantly delaying the completion of this 8-point city, the potential 8-point city. Another move which Pakshe could maybe consider is going over here, and what this does is that it creates a blocking platform for this city immediately with a road Dorito or with a triple city with a road and guides it towards this square, which would then be a complete block unless Napalm would strike the gold mine with dividers. The issue with that move would then be that Napalm could go over here with the city cap and meeple the city and attack this one, and then have the option to go with a triangle plus a triple city over here and to potentially get everything there for himself. And so Pakshe opts for the initial idea of restricting or starting to restrict to the starting tile. And I believe, I mean, there are two moves, maybe three moves actually, which Pakshe could consider. Going over here and continuing the plan of restricting the city, going over here and trying to overrun this city with a Dorito and a triple city and then a city cap, or then simply add potentially 2 points to your 1 point city on the right. All of which are perfectly executable plans. So we'll see what is the prioritization of the Thai player here. Personally, I think I would try and probably go for actually this restriction here as soon as possible, though it's arguable whether it is the best move. But, you know, when you have an early chance of restricting or like heavily restrict your opponents with a city tile, which is like one of the kind of the best city tiles that you could maybe do this with, because you wouldn't have to sacrifice a meeple for it, then it is something that I would personally be willing to do. Like now, Pakshe could also go here and try and restrict that starting tile option. It's still valid, but the issue here with road tiles is that there's now, if he goes here, then there's going to be a potential 6 point loop forming for NapalmEye if he hits really any city tile with a road in it. So that is going to be something that Pakshe has to think about, and he does indeed think about it, and therefore does not go for the restriction. Instead, just takes a 3 point road for himself. Totally a valid move, though could become a little feisty if Napalm goes over here and then can have the option to restrict Pakshe's meeple to the final remaining starting tile. So this might backfire, but as of right now, when so few tiles have gone out of the deck and so many remain here, it does not strike to me as a bad move at all. And like it's generally actually advised to go for aggressive scoring in the beginning, because often aggressive scoring is going to lead into better results as opposed to just sticking to like pure defensive moves, and in this case defensive move would be first and foremost blocking attempts. Welcome to the chat, Kaika. Glad to see you here. Napalm is trying to build the road for himself, and at the same time he does restrict quite significantly this square for his opponent, and of course the benefit is that Pakshe will now have significantly less tiles to go here with to create the blocking platform, or the restriction platform to be more exact, on the city of Napalm. Maybe not the worst idea for Napalm to actually just attack this road of Pakshe. There is already a road end for Napalm to use in the future if this connection goes sideways and Pakshe gets a crossroad immediately. Then Napalm can very easily go here with a city plus road tile, any other city plus road tile, but a triple city with a road, and indirectly finish his city and maybe even grab a new indirectly finish his road and maybe even grab a new city in the process. Pakshe, not the most ideal tile for him. Something he could do is maybe go over here and actually meeple this road and trying to wait for a road monastery. Not a bad idea if you ask me. There's a lot of potential. It's 4 points, and then if you hit the 75% chance of your road monastery of getting one of the road monasteries, or let's say at least one, then it's going to be a very efficient monastery building, and it's not really wasting any moves. And Pakshe does indeed decide to go for it. Napalm with a road Dorito of his own, and I believe it's gonna go over here with a road meeple. Now there is a bit of danger here with the road because 2 of the 3 daggers have gone out, so it is possible for Pakshe to actually go here with a road plus city tile and restrict this square to the final remaining dagger. But that is certainly something that Napalm should be willing to take the risk of, given that it is already a 4-point road and it can easily be made into a loop with either a curve or a straight road by his opponent. Pakshe recognizing the threats here and does attend to them. Now this is not this is not as much as a restriction, but it is a bit of an annoyance for Napalm, because it's going to take Napalm now a longer while to find suitable tiles for his road, and now there is actually also the threat of Napalm's road getting directed to the right and restricting both the road and the city to a dagger, though that would be restricting to a um, to a dagger which there are still 3 remaining, so it wouldn't be actually the worst. However, Napalm does not want to see that happening and instead simply adds 1 point to the road, but Pakshe now with a great potential move here, finish the road, and I certainly do believe that this is exactly what we will be seeing. Finish the road, and then if he gets a city plus road tile next, then he could even potentially go like here with, let's say, a dagger and block the city and potentially even block this road as well at the same time. However, it's not going to happen. Napalm gets actually a pretty great defense. There is only one tile, the one remaining starting tile that now fits for Pakshe to try and, or not try, but to actually block the city completely. And the odds are that Napalm will be getting out of this mess before that starting tile hits. Okay, Pakshe kind of backs out of his road monastery plans. No big deal. He can still get a road monastery, well, the other road monastery for the road and finish it just fine. Whereas Napalm gets a road monastery for himself and gets to actually put it in a very, very juicy 6-point spot. and also end his road from one end. Pakshe getting some 6 points of his own, and as a result is leading on the scoreboard 15-0, but given the texture of the map as it is at the moment, it shouldn't be an issue for Napalm. Has a 6-point monastery, has a long road which is totally safe, and has a 10-point city which is going to be finished at any given moment. And as an anticipation of this city, Pakshe does indeed meeple the field preemptively, rightfully so. Does have to give 1 point to the city of Napalm, but that's not a big deal, although unfortunately this ruin is gonna eat up a lot of um, space from this field, and the only way to grow the field is gonna be to the left, but it's gonna be very, very likely that this city gets completed, and given that there is actually only one single extender left, it's also very likely that this square will be filled with a vanilla tile or with a tube divider, which means that automatically Pakshe will have a lot of a lot of additional green squares available for his field. Two extra points for Napalm. Focuses on just simply building the ruin, and is even actually not going over here for 1 extra point, partially due to the fact that he wants to cover up this attacking square to the city, but also because there are still 2 dividers that will nicely fit into here, and then if Napalm hits one of those dividers, he can also still go over here with really any city tile, probably preferably a city cap of some sort, to limit this square to a um, cow, so to this tile, and then actually try and finish this city as of right now. And would you look at that, there is the divider, and I do believe that we will be seeing this move over here. Now the question is, does Napalm place a meeple on it? And I don't believe he does, because 2 out of the 3 daggers are out. But it's gonna be really unpleasant to not meeple this, because potentially he's just leaving a 6-point city for his opponent to take with any city cap with a field. Wow. This is, I have to say, this is quite resourceful by the Latvian here. So he does decide that it is too risky to potentially give out a 6-point city, and instead he wants to anticipate the this field of Pakshe, and he is looking now to finish the city with either with the final extender or with one of the 3 tube dividers. And With a tube divider, he would also be getting his meeple onto this field over here. Now, it's actually not that important to get this meeple to this 3-point field, of course, but because the assumption is that this city will be completed with a tube divider, then this 3-point field will be turning into a 9-point field, and that is already a um, justifiable uh, justifiable use of a meeple. Now, with only one meeple in his hand, I believe Napalm is gonna go actually over here and limit this square to the cow tile, and then have the option to get his hands on the final divider and then go over here and then have like an 88% chance of finishing a rather large city. Also duly note that Napalm was more or less forced to go with a monastery at the top as opposed to adding 1 point to his own monastery, because he was not, or he did not want to allow, nor he should allow, a possibility for Pakshe to simply finish a city with any city cap and drop a second farmer. Pakshe not able to take any quick points with a crossroad, and likely will be simply starting a 4-point loop road. Or this, I mean, this also does have merits because it now does prevent the possibility of the divider, but unfortunately for Pakshe, Napalm gets a wonderful, wonderful tile for him and has no issues, or should have no issues, going over here, adding 3 points and renewing the threat of finishing this large city. Pakshe will have to go over here to limit this city to the one remaining dagger with the left hand side curve. I don't really see anything else for him here. I mean, he has to have his priorities straight. I mean, when he wasn't going, when he did not decide to start a loop with this crossroad, he certainly won't be starting a loop with this curve either, and he doesn't. Napalm most likely gonna be doing a semi-save on the city. I think this is also the final remaining starting tile, so the blocking options for both players have just now increased tremendously. Actually, what Napalm is probably thinking about is, I was about to say that I think Napalm was thinking about potentially just the rotation of this starting tile here, but this also makes sense because he wasn't able to get a guaranteed block or like guaranteed save on this, which he didn't. But instead, when your features are under threat of getting blocked, then also a very, very good idea is to potentially limit your opponent's features and also potentially block them, as he now did. Which I am a bit surprised actually of Pakshe's decision here. Instead of saving his city and still have 4 tiles to finish the city at some point, he opted to finalize the block and take 3 points, which does make sense, but it was only a 50-50, actually a bit less than a 50-50 chance of this city getting completed in the first place, because Napalm would have to get the final remaining dagger and then also the count tile over here. But when we consider the fact that Pakshe is leading on the scoreboard with 24 points, then his thought process here probably is that, if he can simply maintain his lead and deny Napalm any like large features, then he'll have no troubles in winning this game. Napalm finally gets to finish his city and also gets the extra points of the second small city over here, and now he has put himself on the scoreboard and is having a momentarily the meeple advantage here. Which gets equalized straight away. So let's see about the point situation at the moment. So Pakshe plus 15 on the scoreboard, plus 19, plus 21. This field is equal, plus 23, plus 20, plus 15, plus 9, plus 4 equal. This is actually completely equal points at the moment. There will be a 5 or 6 point move to be made for Napalm, depending on whether he gets a cow with a shield or without a shield. So that will be a very useful tile to have. And then also, of course, Napalm has his road here to be finished with some additional features as well. Starts another city, which is perfectly fine, though actually, yeah, I mean, with only one road tile, we can see how incredibly much Pakshe was actually able to restrict the city immediately, because the only city caps that are now available for Pakshe, for Napalm, is the final city crossroad and a dagger. So 2 city caps. Also, he wasn't now able to use this extender. Has to probably go over here to deny Pakshe from dropping another. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! From dropping another meeple on the field, because this is super dangerous. This is incredibly dangerous. If Pakshe gets any city cap, he will immediately finish the city and drop another farmer, and then Napalm is in huge trouble with having now this 2-point city blocked. He's still not going for the prevention. This is gonna cost Napalm if he doesn't get this done. It's gonna cost him dearly. Please do something about this, or you are going to regret it. Already now 2 chances, and he opted for adding 1 point and then going for additional blocking of this 2-point city, which was already unlikely to be finished, because this is always going to be the #1 priority for Pakshe to use any city caps on. He gets a second meeple in hand, but I have to question Napalm's priorities here. It's now been 3 tiles that he has not done anything to this massive threat that Pakshe has. Now finally, he does something about it. He removes the threat of Pakshe being able to drop another farmer like completely for free. But holy, that took time. And well, I mean, I guess I have to, I don't know, admire Napalm's nerves of like just building up the monastery rather than doing anything about this. But I cannot recommend that strategy for anyone at that um, stage of the game. Let's see how many city caps there are actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Wow. There was like 8 city caps left in a 20 tile pack. And the fact that you don't do anything to this massive threat in 3 moves is, I have to say, is a massive mistake. But he did somehow get away with it. Somehow. Do not try this at home. Do not try this at home. You will not come out as winning as Napalm did here. Okay, kind of playing with fire, because with 9 tiles, I don't think Pakshe will have too much of an issue um, to place a meeple here with a city cap, like on like a farmer meeple, I mean. Maybe even now, honestly. Could still do it, even though it leaves a 6-point field, but I think this is gonna be the thing that we see from Pakshe, just taking his monastery meeple back and making the possible field invasion spots from 1 to 2. Okay, Napalm, and now contemplating, is this one or this one better to attack to the field? Because the field is now 12 points and it has actually a lot of room to grow, with so many city caps still left in the deck, like 6 city caps left in the deck still, out of like what, the total of 10 tiles, 8 plus 1 in Pakshe and 1 in Pakshe's and 1 in Napalm's hand. So 6 city caps out of the 10 tiles is certainly a huge amount. Opts to go for the 6-point move, which is also not bad. It is very understandable. Okay, Napalm has a chance to take 4 points or go for the field, though he has to count the exact tiles. Like, how many tiles does he actually have to join this field? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No regular curves. There are no starting tiles. There are no daggers. There are no road monasteries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is one straight road. There is one straight road. Oh, actually, maybe not. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, no straight roads either. So actually, I don't think different stuff with this tile as well. Maybe even, I don't know, start a new field completely from here. Or just take the 4 points, or maybe go even over here to not allow Pakshe to drop a farmer. But there are no road tiles. Oh, here either. Is Napalm seeing something that I'm not? Because we counted no starting tiles, no daggers, no regular curves, no straight roads, no road monasteries. Ah, the crossroad! The crossroad! He somehow manages to get the only tile out of the 6 in the deck that will get him to the field, and also he gets it immediately before he gets blocked entirely. Wow, okay. Well, that checks out. The question is, did Napalm actually need this field? And I have a looming suspicion that he might have not even needed to attack this field. But let's see. So he's plus 12 for Pakshe, plus 15, equal 19, 13, 8, 4. So Napalm was plus 2 even after this city is finished. So he might have not actually even had to attack the field. Like, taking these 4 points might have been enough. But now after having overrun this field, there is now actually a 0% chance, probably, of losing for Napalm. Because Pakshe only has 2 tiles left. I don't think there is a tile to go here, because now there are not even crossroads anymore. There are no daggers, there are no starting tiles, there are no roads, no road monasteries, no curves, no straight roads. Why is Pakshe even dropping a farmer here? I think he has miscounted. No? Because he might have as well dropped a farmer only after this city is finished. I don't know. I don't know. Pretty sure there are no tiles to go here. A quad city for Napalm, and I think it's some sort of a city cap for Pakshe's last tile, although I'm not exactly sure which one. Maybe a vanilla. 1, 2, 3, 4. No vanilla. No tube divider. Okay, it is a city crossroad. But yeah, there were indeed no tiles to go here. It was more like a preemptive farmer for Pakshe than anything, because he assumed he was gonna get the city cap anyway. But it's not gonna be enough, because Napalm has snatched this wonderful 21-point field all for himself, and takes a clear 1-0 lead in this duel. And now with some more pressure coming to Pakshe's way, we are gonna see how he does under pressure. Duly note that, of course, this um, is the quarterfinals match, and this is a single elimination bracket. So one of these players is going home, and that one player might be the strong Thai master. Also, there might be a few minute break before the second game. At least it seems that Napalm has not joined the table just yet. So we might have a bit of a cool down time here. Yeah, I have to actually seriously question the motives of the Latvian player with attacking the field. I mean, I guess he's um, I guess the reason he attacked the field in the first place with the second meeple, even though there was only one tile to do so, and he was actually in point lead, was the reason that he didn't want to see Pakshe from he didn't want to see Pakshe dropping a farmer on the same spot and going for that one crossroad and then just have to rely on the 50-50. But instead, because Napalm had two meeples, he was still able to use that other meeple to potentially score quick points, and that second farmer was more of an insurance than a real attempt of invasion. Okay, second game underway. Napalm now as a vice versa starting player gets to take a 2-point city as the starting player and attacks the 2-point road of Pakshe as well. So a a small advantage for blue as of right now, as the starting player should have. Pakshe most likely gonna be going over here and interfering with the road with this 1 point road part of Napalm, as well as potentially getting a some sort of blocking on that 2 point city of Napalm as well. So kind of a double blocking potential move there. Probably, probably he will actually also meeple that. Um, I would be actually surprised if he does not, as it is generally, yeah, he does meeple it. It is generally a pretty decent idea to really meeple everything in the beginning, if whether it is a monastery, a city, a road, just because there are like no features at all available in the beginning. So you want to have, yeah, you want to start those features so you can actually have stuff to work with. Monastery for Napalm, and this is somewhat unfortunate for Pakshe, as he isn't really able to add a point to his part of the road, like with good conscience, as it will also add a point to Napalm's monastery, and this road is actually more likely to be shared than anything. So I wouldn't be surprised if Pakshe just decides to take a 2 point road over here just to simply be able to prevent Napalm from getting a crossroad or any road end for that matter, and take easy 2 points for this one single road end that is available on the map at the moment. But this is understandable move in a sense that it creates further pressure on this city of Naples. But Pakshe does the more conservative move and is gonna be waiting blocking tiles that are going to be advantageous for the city instead, and I think justifiably so. Napalm with starting tile could consider something like this, perhaps starting a new city in a safe spot. Also adds a point to the monastery, which is exactly what he does. Pakshe gonna be opening up new cities, and the Napalm probably. Do we go here or do we go here? Okay, opts to go for simply the extension of the city, which is understandable. You know, in some cases, this uh, road connection might become troublesome. It might become troublesome because this square right over here could be restricted to a starting tile, and then Napalm would have potentially two meeples stuck on this square as opposed to only this a monastery. So maybe it's probably better to keep um, his options open and fill this square first before actually connecting to this road. And we probably are going to be seeing a loop to be taken as we do. And Pakshe. Interesting decision now for Pakshe. He has so many spots to use this tile too. He can use it here. He can use it here and attack this city. He can use it here, start a new city, and obstruct this monastery spot. Or he can just simply go here, take his meeple back. Like maybe even here, but this is like the worst of all of the options that he has by far. I think what we're gonna be seeing is I want to say this. I want to say that this is what we'll be seeing, simply because then Pakshe will have the option to get another crossroad and go over here and then get away with his 4-point road whilst leaving the 2-point road of Napalm to battle it out with this city as well. So Napalm working, and it doesn't cause issues with the stream because my router is saying uh, something else. Let's refresh this. Okay. Let me check the stream. I mean, it does seem to be working, so I'm going to count on that the stream is still all good. I'm going to take my chances. But, so Napalm goes for the same save as in the previous game. For the extenders and the tube dividers, the issue, not the issue, but the thing is that this time he has 5 tiles here as opposed to 4. Also takes this 2-point road, which I don't agree with. I definitely don't agree with this actually, because Pakshe will never take it as long as he has the city over here. Like, he will never take it. Because if he takes these 3 points for the road, then Pakshe will be making a blocking platform on his own city, and that's definitely not what he wants to do. So I think this is kind of precarious meeple for Napalm. Like, he has 3 open roads now, and he needs curves here, and more road tiles here. Like, it's not great. Pakshe gets one of the extenders, so Napalm now left with 4 tiles to fill this square. Still very, very likely to actually get one of those at some point. Do we still go here? But like, because of this loop road that we have, we might get restricted from both sides, which is going to be an issue. But like, what else do we do with this road tile? Maybe we go here. Yeah, I mean, it's an option, but it's not that great still. Like, there are still tons of tiles that go over here, and there is really no great tile that we can restrict this city to. Also, actually, why don't we go over here? Yes, why don't we go over here? Because we need this straight road for our monastery. Wait, why are we not going here? Like, Napalm must be thinking like he doesn't want to leave a 4-point road, but you only have a single road monastery left if you don't want to go with the straight roads here. And like, as you see, like, now we could have finished our monastery with another monastery. Like now we could have a meeple in our hand. This is somewhat unfortunate. Also, we need we need tons of crossroads at the moment. We need a crossroad here, another one here, maybe one even here to get a meeple back. Like, Napalm has great features here, but uh, his tile distribution of useful tiles is not great because he only has this city open, and any other city tiles that he gets are not that useful. Like, yeah, he can get like a splitter or like a divider or something, but you know, even a triangle is not really great because you are giving up 1 point. So he might have to wait for quite a while before he gets more meeples back. But the good news is, the good news are that there are still 7 crossroads and a couple triple cities with a road over here if we really need them. Still 4 tiles over here. We can get, you know, another monastery maybe and keep stacking them up. So there are still scoring opportunities, but slight inefficiency here for Napalm. Okay, I'm actually going to try writing something in the chat myself and see if that is working. Actually, could someone write something in the chat so I know that the chat is working, because I am getting um, some red flags from OBS at the moment, or like not OBS, but from the from YouTube Studio. So if someone would be so kind and write something in the chat so I can make sure that everything there is working out, that would be great. Otherwise, I guess we'll just finish this stream off without any chat action. Pakshe actually with only 17 seconds on his clock, so he has to be kind of careful with that. Not that um, not that there would be many competitive players who actually would be like known um, for like huge issues with known for huge issues regarding the time management, and like getting tossed out of competitive games due to running out of time, like in multiple games. But it's something that Pakshe does have to take into account. He can't really keep using a minute every move because he just can't allow that time to pass. 4 points for Pakshe, gets one of the crossroads. Napalm likely gonna be just simply continuing their road. And in the meanwhile, Pakshe continues his city, which is starting to look quite formidable. Pakshe with another tile of Napalm's collection, and is going to be using that to save this city over here. 4 points for Napalm, and gets to obstruct the city of Pakshe a little bit. This is very, very likely actually that Pakshe will get the city back. There are still 6 tiles to go. And actually just in time as Pakshe grabs the penultimate tile of Napalm's out, Napalm gets the final one, so there are no more tube dividers, no more extenders left in the deck. So the final tile out of the 5 that Napalm originally had, he finally gets to complete his 6-point city plus another 4 points in addition to that, and is most likely actually gonna be going over here or over here and dropping a farmer. It's gonna be, yeah, I mean it's already a 9-point field, but it's gonna be 12, maybe 15, 18 even. It's gonna be a huge field. And for Pakshe, I mean Pakshe's game looks to be kinda dependent on finishing these cities, at least like 2 of them. Even though there are still 30 tiles remaining, but you know, given the features of Napalm here, it's gonna be something that Pakshe has to do to catch up on points, because the scoreboard is not looking all that great for Pakshe. Okay, Napalm. Actually not the worst idea maybe to go here. Like it's technically it is, plus 6 points for you, because you are getting 2 additional cities to your field. You are giving 4 points for your opponent for this field, and you're getting 4 points for this city, and you're getting 4 points for this city. So you're scoring for the fields, but probably still not something that you should do, given that Pakshe will then simply immediately go for a field invasion with any tile that he gets. Something that we could do is go here for a 2-point move. Maybe even actually meeple this field preemptively. But it's not something that Napalm is willing to do. Though it wouldn't actually be a bad idea. We go here, we score, 2 more points for our 6-point city than our opponent does for his 4-point city, and then we anticipate this city getting finished, and that would grow this field to 9 points, which would be a justifiable field. Not gonna happen though, as Napalm also gets the other divider and still refuses to go over here. Well, now it was actually better to just simply take a 7-point move. Also gets to take a second meeple for himself, which is really important, because now that Pakshe got a second meeple in his hand, he will certainly be looking to go on this field at any point that he gets. And he does get a chance to go there, but now that the meeple count is 2 and 2, it might not be something that Pakshe is willing to go for immediately. Like he could go over here, drop a farmer with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, still 3 curves remaining. Okay, thank you for the chat messages, Vinny and Fabian. Looks like the chat is indeed working. Yeah, it was. Sorry for the freezes on the stream. It was my router which, from time to time, actually cuts off for like 10 or 20 seconds, but I don't think it has happened many times during a stream, so certainly should be just an exception. Yeah, what I was about to say is that when Pakshe goes for a first field meeple, then Napalm can simply equalize that with any road tile, connect everything here, and then it's going to be 1 and 1 with meeples in hand. And Pakshe will have to then wait for additional meeples to come into their hand if they want to actually fight for this field any further. Most likely getting a meeple back from this city over here with a field Dorito. Ooh. Oh, well, this is something. This is really interesting, actually. So decides to kind of cut off Napalm's meeple supply by limiting this road to a quad crossroad, so only one tile, and also cutting out the meeple supply of Napalm of this 1-point winning mini battle for blue. Now the good thing here is that it's working out for Pakshe here is that Pakshe actually has more meeples in positions from which they are easier to get out. So he now has this city here, which has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, still 5 city caps to get this out, to get it out. Then he has this city here, which has 1 city crossroad and 2 starting tiles to get this out. So that puts 8 tiles plus plus 4 field triangles or field Doritos to get this meeple out. So Pakshe has 12 tiles altogether to get meeples out, which is plenty actually. Whereas Napalm, even though he now has a +1 meeple, he has 1, 2, 3 tiles. Yeah, 3 tiles to get meeples out. So you do the math. Oh. Okay, I mean, there is an idea. I mean, Pakshe, even though he doesn't actually meeple this road, because he is really now counting on drawing the quad crossroad himself, is that he wants to have as many meeples as possible to fight for this field in the future, which is, at the moment 18 points, and it's going to grow. It's going to grow for sure. So he's gonna need every meeple he can get for this battle. Napalm with actually a wonderful move here, using like kind of giving up one point to his opponent, and also blocking both the road and this city, and so basically denying Pakshe from ever getting this meeple back. Now it's not a huge deal for Napalm to not be able to get this road meeple back, because he also had very few tiles to actually get that back in the first place. But now that he was able to deny this city from Pakshe from completing, and more importantly, completing with a farmer to a 6-point field, with the possibility to unify that 6-point field to this main field with a road monastery, let's say as the last tile, then it's going to be serving Napalm really, really well here. Now the only thing that Napalm has to be aware of now is this city over here. Even if he does not draw the quad crossroad, because the point situation right now looks to be very, very favorable for Napalm. Plus 13 on the scoreboard. This is equal. This is 8 points, so plus 5 minus 1 equal plus 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8, and then this field. So plus 26 as of right now. Let's say these unify, so he'll still be plus 8, but he'll be having at least equal meeples, if not meeple majority. So really this game is super, super favorable for Napalm at this point. The only thing he has to like actually take care of is that he does not lose this main field. That's the thing he has to. That is the only thing he has to really take care. This is fine. He now starts like kind of a new field, which is already 6 points, now 9 points, and then has the chance to unify everything with a road monastery, and he gets it immediately, which is just absolutely wonderful news for Napalm and for Latvia. And I believe Alexei, who is also watching the match and streaming the match, is just kind of shivering in his pants, more or less, for the success of his teammates. And yeah, I really don't see Napalm now losing this with 15 tiles. I mean, actually, do I? I mean, there are still some possibilities of how he can lose it, but that requires Pakshe getting this meeple out like really, really fast, so that he'll be having a meeple to score with, and also requires that Napalm does not get this meeple back. Let's see how many tiles does he have to do that. So no regular crossroads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No regular straight roads and one starting tile. Okay, so he has one tile to get this meeple out. Napalm has one tile to go over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This might hurt his winning chances a little bit. One, two, three, four. Actually, this is going to be hurting Napalm's winning chances potentially quite a lot, actually. Giving out these 4 points to Pakshe now. Well, basically a 2-point net loss, because Pakshe would have just used this triple city with the road over here anyway. So what he's trying to do is, of course, keep like either one of these meeples out of the field. That's what he's trying to do. But in the process, he might actually make this a little more tighter of a situation than it should, or than it needs to be. Well, this will certainly help. Gets the quad crossroad, and Pakshe still doesn't have a meeple in hand. Still waiting for those field triangles, which there are still 3 in the deck. And it's quite unfortunate, really, for Pakshe that he still has not received any of them. Napalm's certainly gonna be trying to at least Oh, like either drop a third farmer or he's gonna try and block every possible connection platform to the field. He's plus 13, plus 21. Let's say this field is equalized. Then he's plus 22, 25, 29, 21, 17, 11. So 11 with an equalized field, which is still a lot. And Napalm has the meeple. So yeah, at this stage, I would certainly say that Pakshe's winning chances rely heavily on winning this field outright. Because even with the field triangle, he's not gonna be immediately catching up on those points. He's gonna need a lot more. And Napalm catching those field triangles like it's nothing. Uh, okay, well, we have that. Though, is this actually gonna be hurting Napalm? Is this gonna backfire? Because there are now extra chances of attacking the field. And Pakshe will absolutely take that. He is gonna go over here and he's gonna drop a farmer and he's gonna try to get that starting tile. Oh, this might end up being Napalm's loss. He has to get the starting tile or has to prevent this from happening. Let's see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's one field triangle still remaining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are still actually multiple curves. So Pakshe is gonna be going with the curve here. Oh my god, this is gonna be... Oh, this can be really, really ugly for an Napalm. Ay, 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 ay. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? He might have just jinxed himself. Actually, it was arguably better for Napalm to simply go with the... Actually, no, never mind, because this platform wasn't there still. Um, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. What are we seeing? There is still a starting time. There is still a field triangle. And there is there is I think one regular curve. 5, 6, 7, 8. One regular curve. Oh no. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No triple cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No triangles except for the field triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No straight roads. Some kind of city cap maybe. But Napalm needs to get... He's probably gonna need to get his third farmer to the field. I don't think he can get out of this with just quick points. He definitely can't get out of this with just quick points. This is tragic. This is terrible for Napalm. This is absolutely terrible. It might have actually been a crucial mistake for Napalm to take these 4 points with the dagger because he created that extra platform for Pakshe to attack the field. Oh no. He's going for the connection. Pakshe gets the curve. And Napalm, there's the starting tile. If Napalm gets the starting tile, he's going to win. It's going to be enough, I think. But if he doesn't, he's going to lose, isn't he? I don't think there's a curve left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is no curvy tile left of any kind. Napalm needs that starting tile, and that starting tile only, to win this game. And so does Pakshe. Unbelievably, it's a 50-50 coin toss game, even though Napalm had a massive lead in this game, but he somehow was able to throw that all away. Oh, and Pakshe gets the starting tile in an unbelievable fashion. He wins the field outright out of a terrible position, out of a ghastly position. He makes a massive comeback with the help of his opponent. And Napalm throws the game. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. Wow. Well, the players are going to be taking a 3-minute break, and that certainly is going to be needed for Napalm because he needs to get his shit together, to be quite frank. Because you cannot joke this bad in this caliber of games. Pakshe ties, and let's use these 3 minutes to really analyze the final moment. So we had a perfectly winnable looking situation for Napalm. Actually, let's go to the replay. Let's go to the replay and use that feature to our advantage here. So let's do this and then this, and then let's go to like let's say 90. Let's say 90. Which I think should be, yeah. So look at this. +9, +10, 13, 16, 19, 20, 16, 14, 6, plus this field. Pakshe goes for extra 2 points. We take 4 more points. We are now at like yeah, +8 at the moment. And then Pakshe starts the field attack because he knows that the field is the only way he's going to win this game. We take a 50-50 chance of getting our second meeple to the field. with a road monastery. And we get that immediately. So like now we are what plus, I mean it's still +8 and like +7 now. We strengthen our field to 2 meeples with an 8-point monastery. And we are like +15. Pakshe has to use his final meeple when he still can to attack the field. And he is now relying on those field triangles to get it as soon as possible and somehow sneak in a third farmer to the field with some route that he doesn't even know exists. We give out extra points to our opponent. With there was like what 2 tiles remaining here. Is that so? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then yeah, 1 vanilla and then 1 monastery. Yeah, so 2 tiles here. Arguably, we could have actually even went for like the other way around, so that Pakshe would need the road, the field Doritos over here and over here. Pakshe connects, we get a meeple back. Then Pakshe adds simply 1 point. What we do is we try and block off this connection platform. And now let's see. So this is the crucial moment. So +5 of napalm. Let's say the field is equal. +13, 20, 15, 10, 9, 10. So we are +2 with meeple for both. +2. But that means that we could even take the points from here ourselves because we counted the field as equal. So we could actually do something like maybe even going here with a field, with a farmer, because there are still 2 curves left. But that's maybe not necessary. I mean, these 4 points actually do make some sense. It puts us at +6, but it's a massive issue with this field because this is now the only great platform to attack the field, and Pakshe is able to take advantage of it. We probably should even actually meeple this. Yeah, I think we should actually meeple this field over here if we go here in the first place, because then it kind of forces Pakshe to use a field Dorito here instead of over here, and then rely on the 50-50, which is kind of fine for us. But then we don't meeple that. And our chances of connection are now worse off. Ay, ay, ay. And that. Oh, you know what? Because we now counted on this 1 tile I mean, we might have just as well, like, just still not use our meeple over here, but just see what tiles we get and use our penultimate tile to then see what tiles are remaining and what are not. So now that we can like know that there's this tile and this tile, which is the starting tile, which is the starting tile and the monastery, then we can like go over uh, here, drop a farmer, and then because we assume that Pakshe is gonna get the starting tile, then we can use that fact and get the other tile and meeple and get the third meeple in ourselves. And like if we don't need to do this do this one tile thing, because we can simply wait for an we can simply still wait an extra turn, and whatever tile we get, then we can assess better which tiles we can try and use. Yeah, it's a pretty critical mistake, I'd say. Because no, if we are ready to rely on the curve, then we should be ready to rely on pretty much any other tile as well. Aye, aye, aye. Well, it do be what it do be. If this ends up biting Napalm in the butt, he's gonna have a tough time dealing with it. it was at the time that Pakshe attacked the the field with the third farmer. The point situation was actually pretty much tied, but Napalm had more scoring potential. So arguably, I would say that if we just do not create extra attacking platforms to the field, we're gonna be fine. But those 4 points, even though they look juicy, I don't think it was the way to go. He should have assessed more carefully the tiles that were remaining and realized that Pakshe had a tremendously great chance of actually getting a city tile and trying to connect to the field with a third farmer. But that's all done and dusted, and now it is time to recuperate. Napalm with a 1 point lead, with a shared city over here, Pakshe doing some shield empire with a what looks to be a shared road over here as well, an 8 point city, another city here. Looks to be a relatively equal situation at the moment. Pakshe getting the first monastery in a really great spot with another built in monastery spot right next to it. Napalm would kind of love to go here, but because it built that monastery spot to be even better than it actually that it right now is, it does take some of that, glory out of that spot. This does still decide to go for it. I mean, it's still not a bad move because it might also happen that Napalm gets the monastery himself, and it's, it is an extra point for the monastery just as well as it is for the road anyway. And he creates a attacking platform to the city of Pakshe, so all is well at the moment. Pakshe could, feel feisty, go for maybe this and even meeple the road, but I think that would be a little extra. Um, this is a more natural move, I would say. Just adding a point to the monastery and obstructing the city a little bit. Most likely it's only going to delay the completion of the city rather than be a successful complete block in like later on, but it's still like 1 point on the monastery, and 1 point is always 1 point. Napalm could go over here, maybe probably even actually without a, a meeple, as he does. This is more so just to make it more annoying for Pakshe to build up his city, and like in case Pakshe does get a triple city, like then we can go either here with a city cap or with a road plus city tile, or here with a city tile and try and connect to the city. But then we will have both triple cities and the triangles working in our favor, whereas now we would only have triple cities. Pakshe wouldn't actually be surprised to see a move like this, finishing a shared feature and getting 3 more points on the field, even though Napalm would most likely just end up then going with a curve here and dropping a 9-point field of his own, dropping a 9-point farmer of his own. Still something that is totally viable to do. Instead, decides to use a shielded tile for his own construction projects, which is also quite justifiable. Napalm finishing this road. Not sure about directing the road end to the left, partially because uh, of this exact issue that Pakshe could get a crossroad of his own, take 2 points and create a monastery spot, which works greatly in favor of the player with only 1 meeple in his hand, than it does for the player who has meeples to spare anyway. Also, like in case Pakshe would have gotten a second monastery here, then because Napalm made a road spot over here, it would be incredibly difficult to block. In some cases, it's not even like possible to block. But if you go over here and direct the roads to the north and to the east, then there is a potential blocking platform for the incoming monastery of his opponent. Case in point, well, a 9-point monastery spot works well for the player who has only 1 meeple in hand, and this spot was more or less donated by Napalm with the choice of directing the road to the left, allowing this crossroad to come for Pakshe to take extra points for this monastery too, and prepare this monastery spot. What you should take note of this is that you don't want to create easy monastery scoring options for your opponent when they have only one meeple in hand. You want them to actually take the risk and actually meeple an 8-point monastery, which is then susceptible to a block afterwards. Another monastery for Pakshe, and see, now this one, Pakshe will not be able to actually meeple, because he only has one meeple in his hand, and he doesn't have meeples in places that are like as easily retrievable. Napalm gonna be getting his 8-point city and a 3-point road. So, well, some extra, some compensation for this earlier, let's say, small mistake that he did earlier. And Pakshe left now with a rather uncomfortable 2-point city, which is already restricted with a road. Now, where do we go with this? We could do something like, I don't know, maybe just here, starting a new city. Maybe we go here, start a new city going downwards, and not leave the second city cap available. We could just drop this over here, and where in a spot which will then require city caps with roads to get those points, whereas Pakshe already needs city caps with roads over here to save his city construction. All seem like valid options. +2 for Pakshe, +4, +3, is it equal, +10, so +10 for Pakshe, but we have 2 extra meeples, so our situation at the moment is more than fine. And as a matter of fact, because we are the player with more meeples, we could more easily go over here and start these cities. Then we could even go for an extra an extra farmer over here and try and overrun the fields of Pakshe. Also, we have our final field crossroad used up right here. So Pakshe could now go over here if he wants to and block this road block this road square of Napalm, and then get another crossroad over here and separate his own road from the road of blue and still finish his own road whilst just leaving blue's 4-point road meeple, or 3-point road meeple actually, no, 4-point road meeple to being blocked. So that seems like something we could go for. And he does go for it, which is perfectly doable. Now Napalm should immediately go for the connection of the roads, so that he does not get left out of this project here, and Pakshe doesn't run off with it. Pakshe does get a city cap with a road, and he most likely is going to be going over here, starting another city. Starting another city would be kind of reckless. And a question for Napalm. It's going to be really annoying, but he might go for this one just to extend the city of his opponent. It's not great, but it's like the question, like, would you rather see your opponent with an unfinished 5-point city than a finished 8-point city? And like, most players, I would say, are gonna be what the what the I'm speechless. This city was never in my radar of worries. But apparently Napalm thinks otherwise, and it wants to absolutely use a shielded triple city tile to add to a ruin of his opponent with another city piece following that, and take out, I don't know, this field retrieval platform. This doesn't make any sense for me. Not a single bit. Uh, no. Just no. I mean, he's hurting his own chances to win. There was only one tube divider to go here anyways, and like with that said, the chances of this city being completed were atrociously bad. One, two, three, four, five, six. Arguably, I could also say that why would Nepal just not go over here with the triple city? Like, not directly adding 3 points for Pakshe, but instead leaving the possibility of getting these points for himself with the remaining one quad city and one triple city with a road. And he still like would have taken this meeple retrieval platform away. I cannot comprehend this this decision of the Latvian. Ah. +1 equal -1 -7 8 9 -11. So -11 is Napalm at the moment with 2 extra meeples. Now trying to block or attack to this 1-point city of Pakshe. Trying to at least like somewhat equalize it and then have left with one extra meeple to score all the quick points in the world that he can get his hands on. There's also now one divider still remaining, so that will be useful for both players, for Pakshe over here and for Napalm over here. So Pakshe might actually want to consider doing this to unify these two cities over here to prevent that divider from hitting. And yeah, for Napalm, it's just about nothing else but... Oh, this is a wonderful tile for Napalm to go over here and then leave Pakshe with only one singular tile to get a meeple back in a long time. Now Pakshe left with only the divider over here to get a meeple back, and Napalm, in all likelihood, is going to be able to attack the city with one of his two meeples, and is going to be left with that exactly one extra meeple in his hand to score all the quick points he can get his hands on. Now the downside with this is that there is only one crossroad remaining. There are no triple cities with a road, and there is only one road monastery, so not many road ends left. But the the city caps would be more than enough to build a new field somewhere. Okay, Napalm can now restrict, but there are still 2 daggers left, which is an issue. And if he goes this way, there would be no tube dividers. 1, 2, 3. Well, still 2. Oh, and Pakshe hits. Pakshe hits his out. Wait, why did Napalm not actually meeple this city? It's not dangerous. There aren't even triple cities to like obstruct it. Why is Napalm not meepling this city? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It could cost him extra 6 points or 12 points technically. Pakshe also now in a very, very sizable lead thanks to this dagger that was able to get him or finish him this 12-point city. Napalm starting a monastery with 14 tiles to go. I don't see this one working out. I mean, he doesn't have the luxury to do like any 1-point moves. Oh, it's gonna cost him dearly. 12 points it's gonna cost him to leave the city unmeepled. And we are not even slowly but surely, but we are seeing the Latvian collapse in a swift fashion from a 1-0 duel lead to a 1-2 loss after a series of highly questionable moves. So unless Napalm has some sort of wizardry trick up in his sleeve, I don't see any way of Napalm getting back into this game anymore. Pakshe is plus 17 on the board. plus 10. These are equal. This is equal. This is equal. Everything's equal, but this ruin, which is gonna be another 11 points. So Pakshe is plus 21 points. Both players with one meeple, and there is just absolutely no way that Napalm is gonna be able to get all those points with only one meeple and 8 tiles remaining in the deck. This is, I have to say, it's a real tragedy for the Latvian. But he doesn't have many people to to blame for this. Most likely the person to blame is easily found by looking in the mirror. Let's see if he has any scoring potential. So there's this road monastery for 7 points. He's now minus 21, so that's minus 14. Um, we might have to resort into like doing this and even not meepling that, because we need to be able to score for both the city and the monastery. Like, we need to be able to like really maximize our point gain. And well, actually, it's, in this situation we might as well go like full ballistic here and go here with the meeple anyway and pray that our opponent is not able to obstruct the city, and then we get a city cap, and then we get the monastery. That's like 15, but we are still behind like plus 6. Yeah, this... Are there... How many triangles are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 2 triangles still left. So this is the route that Napalm has opted to go for. But he needs to get the monastery before that, and he doesn't get it, so he goes for the plan. He gets the continuation of the plan, but then that continuation is going to cost him because he will not be able to score for the monastery. And instead he doesn't even go for the plan now because he just wants to opt for to be the first one on the field, but now Pakshe blocks the monastery and it is all over. It's going to be a very significant point advantage for Pakshe when the final points hit. And Napalm doesn't even get the road monastery. It falls into Pakshe's hands, and he's gonna be able to use that to take a 9-point field here. Oh, that is brutal. Well, this way as well, but yeah, it's just a really unfortunate loss. What? Oh, wait. Wait, are these... No, surely. Hold up. I need to check stuff because... Oh boy, I think I have forgotten about a fundamental stuff with the playoffs and the quarterfinals. Okay, unfortunately, the tournament website seems to be a little slow. Yes, I have forgotten a key fundamental of the quarterfinals, that this actually best of 5, not best of 3 as all the other matches so far. Okay, so let's not be too judgmental yet. It is a best of 5, and so the Latvian's chances are still alive. But what I will say is that he really needs to step up his game, because he can't simply go on with this path, as we have seen that it has caused the Latvian to lose two quite detrimental games. One in which he had perfectly fine winning chances, and one in which he made, I want to say, a series of um, well, maybe not a series, but some questionable decisions in this game. Um, primarily with this triple city over here, with the crossroad orientation over here, and then with not actually meepling this 6-point city. But all is not lost yet. As long as Napalm is going to be able to really get himself together and play a bit more calmly and collectively, then I believe we should be seeing some high-level gameplay still, even though um, continuous games can be very very impactful on the mind for competitive players. So 3-minute break for these players, and we shall see if that is already over, and it is. Pakshe only one game away from moving into the semi-finals of the Carcassonne Champions League Season 2. Napalm starts off as the starting player just like he did last time with a field Dorito. Couple early monasteries for both players, and I want to say we are gonna be seeing this move right away to prevent again the splitter opportunity or divider opportunity. And if I were to do this, then I would certainly direct the city downwards to obstruct the road of blue. I wouldn't really be wouldn't really be worried about these potential attacking platforms, because there are still two of them, and one of them also is going to be surrounding the monastery of red anyways, so it's going to be like maybe even more beneficial if NapalmEye attacks that route. Pakshe with a road Dorito, not a very useful tile, I have to say. maybe over here and either taking the road or taking the city, controlling two meeples, either both monasteries or both the monastery and the road. Or maybe he could go just over here at one point to the monastery. I mean, it's still 1 point. I mean, it's not bad, but oh, huh, okay. Um, do I like this move? I mean, it is the typical Ukrainian strategy, but it did add a point to the road, which is now kind of free to expand. And like, well, there is, potential to open up the city more to the left and block the monasteries, maybe get additional points. But like my question is that Pakshe really has to build around um, his own city before he can place anything here. Like he can't really be placing a road Dorito or maybe even a city crossroad himself, kind of releasing and negating the point of this move immediately. And now what do you do? Probably, I guess you could go over here, restrict this um, restrict this road to a starting tile. Which is what Pakshe goes for. And now an interesting decision for Napalm. Do you go over here, save your road? Do you go over here, start a new city, and indirectly save your road? Do you go over here, take 2 points, get this monastery out? Several decisions or options. And I'm not actually sure which is the best one. Yeah, he goes for the immediate save of his meeple, but that opens up a great attacking option for Pakshe, because now this city only needs to be closed from like 2 spots as opposed to 3, and I believe Pakshe will have absolutely no problem going over here and attacking the city, or maybe even from here and attacking the city and leaving Napalm with the must go option of finishing these monasteries, or yeah, finishing the monastery of Pakshe himself. And it is indeed the route that Pakshe opts to go for. Now, does NapalmEye want to go over here and for the immediate connection, or does he want to go over here and try and connect after one more turn? It is a bit of a risky playstyle, but at least you wouldn't be forced to continue your opponent's features, but it does kind of backfire. Okay, but he gets off the hook for now, unless Pakshe has a splitter of his own, but the chances of that are so slim that he probably does not. However, Napalm has to give out this 1 point to Pakshe anyway. And by the way, there are no more cows remaining, so all triple cities with a field are now gone, which is an interesting note. The connection is successful, as per the odds are. Pakshe likely just adding a point to his road. I don't see much else which would make sense. And Napalm simply taking back his 4-point city, which is an okay move to make. Builds up some, um, you know, pressure maybe on the square for Pakshe, because now Napalm can actually get something like a, well, any city cap or a triangle or really any city tile with a field. Go here and meeple the field, and then later on connect or place a city cap over here, and that won't be an issue because then it will be placed on a shared city rather than on your opponent's city. I wonder when will be the time for either player to go for the field. It might be so that maybe Pakshe now goes over here with the extender, gets a city cap, then another city cap over here with a dagger, and then drops a 9-point farmer as well. And then starts the field fight. Napalm does get a city tile with a field, but unfortunately the attack option is no longer there. Has to come up with something else. So maybe we go over here. Though I wonder, do we actually need to meeple that city then? Like, we have 4 meeples, but it's still a 1-point city. And we can use the future city caps elsewhere anyway. Yeah, opts to not actually even meeple that. It's a sensible decision. Ooh, now we can definitely, as Napalm, go over here, I think. And either meeple the road or meeple the field. Goes for the field. Yep, that is a very much justifiable thing to do. Pakshe, do you want to go for an uncertain save of your city, or do you want to just take 4 points or 3 points and kind of limit your opponent's field here and start and direct the city to the top, which I think is what I would do. Also, I mean, this is also like doable, finishing your own road and starting a new city. But then again, I mean, we still have a lot of road ends remaining, so we can finish this road at some other point. And it's always nice to take out these quick scoring opportunities from our opponents. And like, let's say, even if this city gets blocked with like a straight road from Napalm on the next move, then we can still make this a ruin with a road Dorito and then like a quad city, a triple city, and then just live a good life. Napalm likely, I want to say, is gonna go here and make sure that that city never sees the light of day. And he does that, rightfully so. Pakshe goes for a 6-point monastery, which is fine. Do note that he does not want to use the stacking approach, because then that would kind of destroy the meaning of this rotation of this city crossroad, because then Pakshe would most likely have to direct the road monastery like this, and then create a straight road spot, and then that would simply increase the size of the field of napalm anyway. So that doesn't that wouldn't really make all that much sense. Napalm going for a bit of an expansion of the field, one more green square, and at the same time he wants to restrict this square to a dagger to ensure that Pakshe can't get a triple city with a road, take 2 points, expand the ruin, and then eventually perhaps even make this ruin worth more points than this field is. Also called as a mini battle. A 1-point road move from Pakshe, and wants to get two curves, and simply finish the road without having the need for crossroads or road ends. And Napalm unfortunately does not have great spots for this monastery. I mean, I think he's gonna end up discarding it over here. Okay, I mean this is doable, yeah. Because like we do have to take into account that Napalm had five meeples in hand, which is a lot, and like it's really like inefficient to discard monasteries. But this is totally fine. So going for a 4-point spot, and now being able to use all kinds of road tiles and other less useful tiles next to his monastery to score points in that way as well. Takes away these loop ideas from all players. Starts a 3-point road. And Pakshe, in the meanwhile, simply enjoying some more quick points. I reckon this is the move for Napalm, just getting his meeple back quickly. But we do have to be aware of this spot, which still exists. We still haven't actually limited that square to a dagger or to a city cap or to another city cap, which means that Pakshe can still score for that spot with a triple city with a road and expand that city or expand that ruin. Pakshe with yet another city cap. There's a decent idea of going over here, starting a 6-point field with another empty city cap, so potentially going into a 9-point field. Or maybe you could just simply go like over here, for example, and start a new city. Maybe here, start a new city, or just start a new city anywhere. But both the field and the new city certainly make sense. And he does go for the for this field option. Let's see what NapalmEye response is. Maybe this. Simply getting the 1 point on the monastery and getting into a winning mini battle against this road. Since the scoreboard is very, very close, every single point at the moment is valuable. These fields cancel each other out. These monasteries cancel each other out. At the moment, this monastery and this road cancel each other out, and so Pakshe is +1 on the scoreboard and has this extra 4-point ruin. So Pakshe is +5 points at the moment for 1 extra meeple for Napalm. And this is what Napalm does. So just enters the winning mini battle for himself. Pakshe now with actually a great tile to go here with. Now this not only indirectly expands his city, but it also takes away this green square from Napalm's field. And then it'll potentially get 2 extra points to the ruin whenever Pakshe hits a road triangle or a triple city with a road. So some wonderful stuff there. Napalm either 2 points from here and try to block this expansion spot, or just 4 points from the city. Arguably, I would also agree that the city points are better here, as Napalm can use just regular road tiles over here, which are less valuable. Also, Napalm will actually very likely be going for a meeple of his own on this 6-point field, trying to connect onto this 9-point field and equalize that. Okay, Pakshe starting a new road with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 crossroads and these triple cities remaining. An indirect defense move, most likely incoming, which is gonna be actually really efficient because Napalm will only then have 2 good blocking tiles. He will only have these 2 daggers to prevent this expansion from happening. And I think we are going to be seeing NapalmEye now entering this ruin fight. I think he's gonna go over here and he's gonna meeple this ruin, because he for sure realizes that he doesn't have great odds of actually blocking this, but he decides otherwise. And I mean, this is also fine. It makes sure that he is indeed in a winning mini battle against this road. This road can never be finished, but I think this one has some more potential to it, because Napalm would then not have to actually stress about this ruin growing. And like, it's just simply really annoying whenever Pakshe gets a road Dorito or a triple city with a road, which is even better. For Pakshe. But NapalmEye is more or less fixed in his mind of trying to block this first, or at least wait until Pakshe has used more tiles on the ruins, so then Napalm can simply equalize that ruin later. Starts a city of his own. Perfectly fine. Pakshe, honestly, I would not be surprised if Pakshe goes over here and starts another field pointing down with the city cap. Like kind of securing this 9-point field of his own and then having actually a decent amount of green squares to make even more cities. Not to mention that he would of course have a one extra city cap already on his field. The thing is, it might be a little too ambitious because these fields can be unified from here anyways. And with 24 tiles remaining, Pakshe might not want to stick with only one meeple and only this road to retrieve until the end of the game. It might be a bit too little. Unfortunately for Pakshe, also attacking this city is not really that great. First of all, because Napalm has more meeples, simply has more meeples to actually fight for that city if he so wants to. And secondly, because if he uses one of his meeples to a city fight, then Napalm can easily go over here with a field meeple and then maybe even another field meeple, and then use his meeple advantage and to actually just simply take away this field from Pakshe. So instead, he opts to simply go for a city restriction, but it doesn't seem to be actually that feasible. There seems to be a lot of city caps still available there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still 7 city caps with a field on the left side. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna go down as well as Pakshe had hoped for. But we'll see. At least Napalm likely actually won't be trying to block this expansion. Well, he definitely won't be trying to block this expansion if he gets his hands on a dagger, because this city finish is way more important. What I do believe we are going to see is Napalm dropping a farmer over here to the 6-point field. Maybe actually even on this side, so that he has the potential to mess with this road. There is one field crossroad, there is one starting tile, 4, 5, 6, and 2 regular straight roads. I don't think I like that too much for Napalm. As a matter of fact, I don't like that at all. Because when you look at the remaining city caps, he has only increased his haul of city caps that he can use by 2. The remaining starting tile and 1 dagger, and all the other ones fit here nicely. Like, I think it's just simply far better to go on the field when you have the meeple majority and and when the field already has 6 points, it has potential to join this 9-point field of Pakshe, and it just generally has like all the great properties of a field. Yeah, I feel like Napalm could be using his meeples in better ways, in like more efficiently. I think he could have even dropped a field meeple here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think he could have definitely dropped a field meeple there, because it wasn't too likely at all that Pakshe would be going here with a triangle combo. Okay, so now we go to the field and we limit this connection to the one remaining regular straight road, and we probably go over here. In the meanwhile, Pakshe gets his expansion finally with the best tile possible, with a shielded triple city with the road. So that's plus 6 points for Pakshe, and he now has additional great usage um, for triangles and for triple cities. Now, question for Pakshe. What do you actually do? Do you harass this city and maybe drop a farmer? Is the farmer too much? It might be too much. Or do you just go for a natural 7-point move? Do you go over here, drop a farmer, and try and connect to here to kind of have the majority still? There are so many options that Pakshe can do here. So many. What's the point score? So 11 points for Napalm in the lead, plus 12, plus 13, plus 19, 13, 11, 14, 11, 6, and I think plus 3 for Napalm, I believe. And so but I mean, this board is so wet. There are so much. There is so much scoring opportunities that it's really difficult to assess what is the priority here. I think I would still go for the simple 7-point move, as Pakshe does. Napalm gets the 5 juicy points for this road. Or does he actually do something wild, something really wild? You could go over here and drop a farmer, then try and get your hand on one of the several remaining regular curves and unify everything, getting a majority on this field. Oh, he goes for it. Oh, what? Oh, oh, no, wait, oh, wow, no, wait, I was about to say this was really not the move I wanted to see, but I totally missed the fact that Napalm's farmer is already on that field, and it's going to do exactly the kind of stuff that I mentioned. It's going to go through a curve, it's gonna go take 4 points, and it's gonna unify everything over here. And there is nothing that Pakshe can do to block that. He can only, increase the pressure by placing more farmers of his own. And then now for Napalm, I believe we are gonna be taking this meeple off the city and probably even dropping another farmer. Yep. Pakshe. I Do we go over here as Pakshe? To like kind of secure that this farmer is gonna be on the same field. But like it's really annoying because Pakshe only has one single tile to get a meeple out. It's from here. And it might be a real pain for Pakshe to actually get this meeple in if he decides to go for the connection over here. It's really not that easy to see the best moves here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. But this, I don't know about this because Pakshe is looking to potentially get both this and this meeple to this main, well, main-ish field here, field here. But he's gonna need a two-tile combo. He's gonna need the vanilla and the monastery, or he's gonna need both the curves. Well, he gets the curve. He now is gonna need the other curve. Or does he even want to connect? Because if he connects, then and if he doesn't get the second curve, he's fucked. To be quite frank, he's gonna be in such a deep trouble. Um, but actually, I mean, he is in deep trouble anyway. I mean, look at this position. Napalm has taken a full control of this field here. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 city field versus a 5 city field, even if this wouldn't connect, and they do, because Pakshe has to go for it. Meanwhile, Napalm keeps scoring a lot of points and is in the lead by a quadrillion, trillion, billion points. And there is not much that Pakshe can do here. It's quite unfortunate for him that he wasn't able to get this road meeple back into his hand, and there is not even enough time for him to drop a fourth meeple anywhere, because he only has 2 tiles to play. So even if he would get this meeple back, he can't drop a fourth farmer and connect this third farmer to this main field. It's just impossible. So Napalm is just all about maximizing his point count at the moment. I don't think he can lose this game. Plus 22, 23 equal, let's say this field is equal 26, 20. He's like plus 14, even if this field were to be equalized. So he can do anything he wants. He can even give points to his opponent and still win the game. There is just nothing that stops Napalm from winning this now. He could probably he's I think he's in the lead so much that he could even uh, build his opponent's road and connect his opponent to the field himself, whilst Pakshe does anything with his remaining tiles, and it wouldn't matter. Napalm would still win, which is kind of ridiculous. Crossroad for Napalm. I am also surprised that Napalm didn't actually meeple this monastery properly. I don't think he has many great scoring tiles anyway. Because I think there is the curve, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, one curve and then I think one straight road. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, straight road and a curve. I'm pretty sure. And so that means that there are like no great opportunities to score. Actually, he should have dropped a farmer there, like 100%. He should have definitely dropped a farmer because he had 100% connection and he could have protected all these juicy points from this 6-point field, like all of them. So this was definitely a mistake, but it's not going to matter in the slightest because all that counts is who has the most points at the end of the game, and it is going to be the Latvian who is now shifted to the second, if not even to the third gear, and he has convinced himself that he is going to get his stuff together and actually qualify for the semi-finals or advance to the semi-finals. So 2-2, and we will be seeing a decider, and we are going to be having a long night today. Kind of a back and forth duel we are having. Also, Napalm goes above the 600 mark again, so a small applause for that. Not sure if this clear mistake was due to miscounting or if Napalm just didn't bother counting anymore because he knew that he was so far ahead, but we'll forgive him that. So now when we actually have the decider in our hands, and tremendous pressure on both players, now is the true moment for both of these players to show the world who uh, is going to be working better under pressure. Not sure at which point, Hugo, you have sent that comment. Connect with Road Dorito from below. Well, whilst these players are having their small break, we can have a quick look-sees at the replay to see if we can make sense of that. So let's see this. And let's go to let's say 100. Think that could be feasible. So connect with Road Dorito from below. So maybe mentioning a potentially connecting from here. Is that something? We gotta go a little deeper. Let's say 120. Ah, yes. So a Road Dorito would go over here, which is actually also what ended up happening. But then, hold up. Ah, so that's why Pakshe could have actually maybe connected this one first and then trust that he gets this. Ah, yeah. That is definitely something that is actually better than going that like far better than going with this, because it doesn't matter if Pakshe gets uh, gets to unify his farmers like with this or from this, but he's gonna have to take care of both of these farmers unifying anyway. And for maximum point scoring, he needs this he needs this triangle anyway. So certainly a great note there by Hugo. One, two, three. Yeah, there's the road Dorito. So that would connect over here from below. Yeah, facts were being said that day. So maybe a bit of a miss from Pakshe, but well, the result ended up being the same. Though arguably he would have then had two tiles to connect to the to connect both his farmers to the main field, as opposed to only one. So Pakshe potentially missing out on some of the point scoring chances there, or let's say better point scoring chances. But now we get to witness the decider, the exciting decider, who now will actually send the other player packing and the other player into the coveted semi-finals against some of the absolute Titan players of the world. So, a nice looking city building for Pakshe in the beginning here. Then we have also two quick cities for Pakshe and Napalm with a city of his own, as well as a couple of roads. So let's see how this is gonna go down. Pakshe, would we ever do something like this preemptively? I don't actually think it's that strong, but I mean, I could see Pakshe doing that, because then it's always so much easier for Pakshe to use like any city tile here and you know have his city being like already saved and available for finish. So I think this probably would be my number one move here. Like in case Napalm attacks, then we might as well just meeple the road ourselves and just equalize the road, like equalize everything. It's not there isn't really too much bad stuff that can happen if we do stuff like this, and we do. Napalm, I mean, only two legal places to place the monastery too, and he takes the arguably the better one. Or does he? Is this a better one? It I don't know. I mean, it could also be justifiable to place it over here, so that Pakshe will have to, you know, build that up just a little bit, but you could argue the opposite as well. Now, for Napalm, actually, I think a justifiable move would have actually been also this, just expanding the city of Pakshe and making a few attacking opportunity or attacking platforms to that city, because this is a really dangerous city, to be honest. There are still all, well, there are still 4 road Doritos to go over here. Pakshe, as soon as he finds himself a city cap over here, he is going to also probably get himself a road tile and place over here, place a meeple on the road, and also gonna be like going extra greedy and even equalize this road, because he would have like over a 90% chance of getting one of those 4 road Doritos at some point. And with those kind of chances, why give your opponent any extra points for the roads when you can equalize that as well? So, Pakshe could go over here, for example, I guess. Just limit the monastery of Napalm and add 1 point to his own monastery, which is what he does. Then do we double down on this as Napalm? I mean, it's certainly kind of an intriguing stacking approach. But then we also have, for example, this spot as Napalm, which would give us the potential of blocking this city to a dagger later. Also, like just in general, this is a fine road monastery spot. Like it's really easy to finish actually. Okay. Doubles down and oh, that is really annoying move by Pakshe. Really annoying. And Napalm just happens so to get the starting tile immediately. And now what do you do? Because you could take, you could make a 4-point move here immediately, but you would potentially give out a 10-point city for Pakshe, and it's just not something you ever like want to do. But you have 2 meeples stuck to it with the Ukrainian technique, and this is exactly a primary example of the Ukrainian technique of why it is so incredibly annoying to deal with. Because you want to do this, but you gotta do some like risk management. And so Napalm backs off from the plan, and what he's gonna try to do now is he is going to try and finish the city. He is going to try and limit this square to a starting tile, and then he's going to try and get that one final starting tile for himself, and then place it over here, and try and liberate this monastery, whilst also getting some like an extra point for this one and the points for the road. But then that would guarantee upon a successful completion of the plan that this city will never actually be finished, and there would be like some a great risk management there. But only one starting tile remaining, and we are very, very far from that plan actually coming into reality. Interestingly, also, already all 6 monasteries out with over 40 tiles remaining. And Napalm, with only 1 meeple, decides not to go for an extra monastery, which is, justifiable. He didn't have like a fantastic place to actually place that monastery anywhere, like as a monastery. Of course, this is a fine move to do with 1 meeple only. Does get a restriction going on the city with now 2 daggers going on. What Napalm also likely will have to go for is the restriction of these monasteries. He wants to actually go for a like a monastery spot hole here, but because monasteries no longer exists, now we go over here. It's going to force Pakshe to use a vanilla on this square, which is really unfortunate for Pakshe, I would say, because first of all, this square is then really easy to actually block, and it's going to force Pakshe to use a valuable city cap to just add 2 points to his monasteries, which is not something that he wants to do, but he gets the vanilla anyway immediately. So, oh my, that is really unfortunate for Napalm, for sure. Like 1 out of the 4 tiles um, that Pakshe had at his disposal. Really annoying stuff for Napalm for sure. Even though the idea I think was fantastic. Also, I am a bit surprised that Napalm goes for a 2 point move instead of trying to increase the pressure on this city over here, because this city is still a big threat. It still needs to be taken care of. You can't just rely on yourself drawing both of the daggers. Like, it's just not a feasible tactic. We can probably go over here because we can use the city caps here anyway. So, oh, oh no 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 no, this is not good. I don't think this is good. I don't think. Yeah, I think this is actually really really bad, because now with only one starting tile remaining, and you needing 3 city caps to different places, this is really really bad. Because Pakshe can now go over here with pleasure, not even meeple the city cap, and cause like massive damage, like potentially massive damage here. Oh, this is not great, man. Like, because if Napalm just places the Dorito pointing upwards or pointing downwards over here, I mean, I think he's fine. There are still several um, triple cities and several uh, Doritos that will work for him, and he can use city caps over here. But now when you need the same types of tiles to so many places, and you have to do stuff like this and give out more points and get restricted at the same time, this is just a recipe for disaster, man. Oh, that's really really painful. Well, luckily for him, he does have all of his cities still retrievable and in a somewhat great condition. Um, but I think this was still like a huge, maybe not a huge mistake, but I think a clear mistake um, by the Latvian, and which might actually come back to cost him like so dearly. Do we go here? We could restrict this square to the same daggers that Pakshe needs over here anyways. Does not decide to do that. Well, we get one of the daggers, so that's good. But we don't have that great of a spot to use it. I mean, we can take a meeple back here. But, when we are now, I would say, in a clear disadvantage, this is a really disgustingly good tile for Pakshe. Disgustingly good tile. I think we kind of have to start taking the risks, and we have to um, try and do stuff like this with the triple city with the road, and start limiting the features of our opponent to the same types of tiles. And we could then actually just hope for that, we draw them both, or then we get to block off these features. But like convincing yourself to draw both of those daggers was not a feasible strategy like 20 tiles ago. But since then, the situation has changed drastically because we are so far behind in points after after all the finished features of red, after having his monasteries in such a great shape, that we can actually start taking those 25% chances, and maybe even better chances. Also, this could be a bit of a mistake from Pakshe actually here, a bit of a rotational error. Had he rotated this city to like downwards, then um, if Napalm had if Napalm would have the tile in hand to attack it, then he would also have to give a point to Pakshe's monastery. Also, now the final starting tile is drawn, and instead of actually using it over here, potentially liberate both of his meeples at some point, or over here to get this meeple back, he uses that as a blocking tile, even though there are still multiple city caps to go here. There are still 3 city caps to go here. And like when you are minus 28 on the scoreboard, um, let's say 29, and then 7 minus 3, so like 33. This is about the same, like like roughly minus 30 points. I don't think you have luxury of any kind to use these tiles as blocking tiles. Like you gotta really take your chances and start going for moves like this, and which will potentially liberate your meeples and start forming these um, other features on the board, which would be then a 6-point field or even larger, and then you would be able to control that with the meeples that you potentially get from these monasteries. But let's see how this is going to work out. So far, it doesn't look like it's going to be working out really great. Yeah, it's really not working great. Really unfortunate stuff for the Latvian. Ay, 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 ay. Okay. Plus 22 really wants to to draw both daggers. It, I mean, I'm I'm not sure if he does. I mean, I guess he does, but if he wants to draw both daggers, then why not simply go for like the ultimate dagger plan and go for stuff like this and trap multiple meeples of your opponent. Because if you want to rely on a single, well, in this case, I would call that a feature for winning a game. That feature being simply drawing the tiles that your opponent needs. Uh, like you should really maximize that gain that you get from actually drawing both of those daggers. And the Napalm unfortunately has not done that. He has not made that happen. Instead, he has actually drawn all four of these road Doritos. But unfortunately for him, it's not really a great news because he can't use them over here because the dagger is still in play. So his own meeple will still be stuck on the 3-point road. Ah, plus 26, 8, 27, 20, 23, 29, 26, 25, 32. Yeah, I mean, minus 32 with equal meeples, with 12 tiles to go, is absolutely god awful. uh, there isn't much that can save Napalm from this position. I think he has simply missed out on his biggest opportunities in this game, namely being the uh, uh, the the dagger plan, let's say, and also uh, like trying to actually maximize your point and um, meeples in a hand outcome with the final starting tile. I still think that this final starting tile was a drastic mistake because he had so many places he needed that for, and he used it for none of it. Pakshe likely going to be just going over here. Like at this point, Pakshe is going to be just simply negating all possible point scoring or like even mediocre point scoring of Napalm because Pakshe just has such a massive lead on the scoreboard and um, actually on the game board as well that like it's really not going to matter what tiles Napalm gets here. Yeah, not much Napalm can even do with a city cap. There aren't even like fields to start with this city cap anymore. Eh, yeah, just start a 4-point city and gets it finished. It's gonna get a very tiny field of his own, but it's unfortunately too little too late. Pakshe even takes the final city cap for himself to prevent the 7-point move from Napalm. And I think we'll see a 6-point move from... Oh, well, no. Yeah, this was actually great as well. Potentially a 9-point move for Napalm. And he can now do the 6-point move anyway, so he only lost out on 1 point actually. Oh yeah, and obviously the the point of this move was to prevent Pakshe from getting a meeple back from this city with this exact tile, and but also it provided an opportunity for Napalm to get a 9-point move in case Pakshe would not for some reason block that with a curve. So kind of an unfortunate ending for Napalm, but I have to say it was due to his, I want to say, lack of ambitious moves that led him into this situation. Because like I want to really question this starting tile move here. Like, why would you go for the trouble of trying to like get this starting tile restriction going here if you are not even going to go for the starting tile later on? I have to address that as nothing else but rather big mistake. Also, funny enough, he did draw, I think, all of the daggers. So the plan did work, but Napalm was not able to reap the maximum benefits out of that plan, which, well, which unfortunately ended up being his doom. Hi there, Napalm. Commiserations. I'm sure you'll be having some fun time watching this stream back. We had some, let's say, instructive moments and intrusive thoughts, and generally fun times. So hopefully this will, yeah, I certainly hope you are going to be watching this one back and seeing how seeing what I thought of your moves. Whether a lot of swearing and hair plucking. I'm not sure about the hair plucking, but I think you are going to not have any issues in distinguishing the moments when I might have disagreed with your moves. Let's put it like in a gentle manner. Was talking about the splitting of city with the Dorito when you mentioned that Napalm wanted to really draw both daggers. I mean, that is, you know, it does kind of, yeah, maximize the plan, but like it's not. It's not really a good plan. Like, come on. I mean, he already had a like Napalm already had a city open um, over here, and which he was able to use city caps on. Like, why not just go for like a rather safe triple city or a Dorito finish for a a mediocre city and get two meeples back and have like all kinds of city caps be like really useful to you. But instead, you're dividing your cities into three separate ones that all need a city cap. Uh, I cannot advise anyone to do this. In that scenario when there were so many Doritos and Triple Cities still remaining in the deck. And, when you divide the cities into three separate ones, you're just not gonna have that impactful moves with most of the city tiles in the game, which is really, really unfortunate. Congratulations to Pakshe for getting to the semifinals and being the first Thai player indeed to get that stuff out the way. So now you have a like bit of flexing rights, and I mean you can already say that you are in the uh, in the games for the medals. And probably attacking the city to try to block city and get road meeple back. Um, yeah, that as well. I was certainly surprised as to why Napalm saw the effort of doing this initial restriction, but he never followed through with it, despite the deck having multiple road Doritos and the two daggers remaining. It just kind of seems like Napalm was like kind of fixated in his head to think that this dagger restriction was all that it takes, and it kind of was because he did draw the daggers, but you know why only have that mentality for one city? If you have that mentality for this city, then you might as well have that mentality for the remainder of the game, being being this situation over here where we had the chance to block two additional meeples and prevent the 8-point city from being completed, prevent this monastery from being completed, and prevent the 6-point field from actually being, there. You could have prevented so much points from Pakshe if you just follow the same strategy that you have already used in the early game. But I think it's enough of a rant about Napalm now. Once again, congrats actually on getting this far. It is much further than well than anyone else except for the seven other players uh, on top of you, and certainly much further than your streamer here was able to get. So who am I to shout? This also unfortunately means that the grand final between two Latvian players is unfortunately out of the question. But we can still, you know, we can maybe switch our. Actually, the grand final was never an option because you can see here both of the winners of these matches are going to be meeting each other in the semi-finals, and also both of the winners of these matches are going to be seeing each other in the second semi-finals. So we will actually not have um, a double Latvian Grand Final or a double RCP Grand Final. So I'm not sure if that is good news or bad news. I think good news for the content, bad news for the content, and good news for um, I don't know, a diversity of countries. um, our next stream will take place later today, as Vladimir Kovalev, aka someone you know, repping RCP, and also the CCL defending champion from 2024, takes on Pavel Hudek, a very, very strong Czech player who has certainly some aspirations of defeating the of defeating the reigning champ. So that will be at 19 UTC. So after about 2 hours, just about. So be sure to come root for your favorites there. And then we will be having tomorrow a double stream as well. Starting off with the with a very early 7 a.m. UTC stream between Utsematsi and the other RCP rep is Loon, and then our delicious the reigning MSO Grand Prix champion and the world recordist, the world record holder of the highest PGA Carcassonne ELO ever with 894 versus Rabbit Rain with the second highest ever rated PGA ELO of Carcassonne with 886. That'll be all for this stream. I hope I'll be seeing many of you in a couple hours. And until then, have a good rest of the night or evening. Bye for now.